All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking Dr. Lexis Johnson's fascinating analysis of July 2026. This isn't just any month. It's a window where massive historical cycles and everyday human decision-making just literally collide. If you're a founder, an investor, a creator, or honestly just someone trying to navigate all these massive global shifts we're seeing, you're going to want to pay attention. The information we're going through today could absolutely change how you plan out your next few years.
We're going to anchor our entire exploration today on one single, really profound thesis. Cycles create conditions, choices create history. Think of these historical patterns kind of like a weather report. The radar shows an incoming storm or a beautiful sunny day, right? But your choices, how you actually behave when that weather hits, well, that decides if you get totally soaked or if you build an ark and ride it out.
Section 1. The July 2026 Convergence. Let's zoom out to the macro level real quick to understand exactly why this specific month is the hinge point of the entire decade.
So according to the source material, a staggering 5 major timing cycles are converging simultaneously inside the single month. Not one, not two, but 5 massive historical currents literally layering on top of each other at the exact same time. It's wild.
To really wrap your head around the sheer scale of this, just look at how these line up. These converging cycles range from a shift that opened during the lockdowns of April 2020 to a 6-year support arc stretching out to 2032. Then you've got a 19-year background current, expanding all the way up to a massive 250-year national cycle. Think back to what was happening in 1776. And all of that is nestled inside an epic 500-year world power rhythm. We're talking about conditions that maybe appear a few times in half a millennium.
Section 2. Quiet planning and design. Okay, let's zoom back in and dive into the day-by-day micro view, starting just after those initial July signals.
July 14th is this quiet reset day. It heavily favors private, strategic design, basically asking you to sit down and figure out exactly what you're building, what you're releasing, what you're protecting, and what you're actually becoming visible for. Dr. Johnson points out that fortunes are so often designed in quiet rooms, way before the public sees any movement at all. A massive product launch or a sudden pivot might look overnight to the rest of the world, but the real decision, that happened earlier, in a notebook, on a day exactly like this one.
Section 3. The Core Convergence Window.
This 5-day window from July 15th through the 20th deserves your undivided attention. It's basically the eye of the storm. Watch how the momentum builds up here. On the 15th, a really rare window of intelligent collaboration opens up between vision and innovation. By the 17th, we start laying down the actual physical and structural foundations for the future, kind of like they did back in the roaring 1920s. Then on the 19th, all these scattered projects finally find their sequence. It turns noise into architecture. The chaos finally shifts into coherence.
And that brings us right to July 20th, this single most pivotal day. This is the absolute culmination of the cycle that originally opened way back in April 2020. Out of the entire month, this is the day you need to watch carefully, speak carefully, and honestly move with absolute precision. Notice the parallel they're drawing here. Just like the sudden global shifts of April 2020, July 20th brings a massive reversal of fortune. It separates the people who sit around waiting for consensus from the people who quickly adapt. Think back to 2020 for a second. Everyone faced the exact same pressure, right? But people made completely opposite choices. Some just waited for a rescue. Others went out, built digital platforms, and repositioned their capital. July 20th brings back that exact same choice pattern. Wealth, power, visibility, it can transfer incredibly fast from the slow to the prepared.
Section 4. Long arcs and new rules.
Following that really intense pivot, we enter this rapid sequence of long-term structural changes. Over the next 3 days, the rules of the game are practically rewritten. You get a one-day genius spark for useful disruption hitting on the 21st. It's a fleeting, blink-and-you-miss-it moment for outside-the-box strategy. Then, a massive 4-week lift in public visibility kicks off on the 22nd for anybody with a clear voice. And by the 23rd, we see the sudden release of stalled momentum. All those delayed launches and blocked contracts, they finally just burst right through the gates.
Then July 24th hits and opens up a massive 6-year support cycle. Really think about that. A historical pattern of labor reorganization that we literally haven't seen in 300 years. And this cycle is going to hit 13 distinct trigger points between now and 2032. With machines and AI absorbing more and more of the world's tasks right now, this specific day heavily challenges independent operators to build ownership and skill advantages before the new structure hardens.
The old questions are returning, they're just wearing new clothes. Who owns the tools? Who gets trained? Who waits for new gatekeepers? Look, if you wait until the new gatekeepers write the rules, you've already lost. You absolutely must secure your platform and your leverage now.
With those new structures hardening in place, July 26th shifts a massive 19-year current. The collective focus pivots really heavily toward community, shared purpose, and making your audience an actual asset well into the 2040s. Trust literally becomes the new currency here.
Section 5. The final fruition point.
Everything we've discussed so far leads directly to this ultimate culmination. The crucial takeaway is that on July 29th, the pattern demands full commitment. It's a huge warning that taking the middle ground becomes incredibly costly. Everything the month built up to culminates right here. You simply cannot build a future from half a yes.
This date asks a ruthless, completely binary question regarding your business, your money, your relationships, and your own personal reinvention. Are you in or are you out? It is, hands down, the most intense decision moment of the entire year.
Section 6. Navigating the timing map.
Zooming back out to the big picture, the source material makes a massive point of emphasizing that while these super rare conditions provide a golden age opening, the age itself still has to be built. Golden ages only arrive when people physically and verbally take up the hard work of building institutions, funding laboratories, and organizing communities during these specific timing windows. You have to vote with your money, your time, your attention, and your reputation. You are the builder. The cycle? It just opens the door.
To help you align your strategy, Dr. Johnson introduces what she calls the timing aggregator. Basically, this is the practical decision map we've been walking through today. It helps you read these complex shifts way before they become totally obvious to everyone else. Because let's face it, you deserve more than just some vague general forecast. You need a practical map so you know exactly which days are for planning, which are for visibility, and which demand pure commitment.
Using this aggregator allows you to set your headings confidently. You're basically leveraging this ultra-rare 500-year convergence as the current right beneath your ship. As the source beautifully puts it, July is the hinge. The cycles have done their part. The records have done their part. The map is ready.
So, the map is in your hands, which leaves you to answer this one final crucial question. Will you choose the role of captain and actively steer, reading the waters ahead to deliberately set your course? Or will you just sit back and let this once-in-a-generation current decide your fate for you? What choices are you going to make to create your history inside this critical window?